Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 13. As the cold of the snow in a time of harvest, so as a faithful messenger to them that send him, for he refresheth the soul of his masters. Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, Ma'ashem Yahushai, Ma'ashem Kahakadash, and honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the operators pushing the truth and sincerity. God willing, this video be edifying first and foremost the whole elect, then to those that cleave to the body. And bad news is good news, all right? And that's why I opened up about how a messenger refresheth the soul of his master, man, all right? The news which cometh from far, all right? Which, you know, great is the men that publish the news, which are the prophets of the Lord to say before, or the prophesied, all right? Prophecy is speaking, okay? That's the whole ordeal concerning prophecy, man, that it shall surely come to pass, verily, verily, all right? But I say that to say, when you look, you know, the current things that's happening in the earth, all right, only identification you can align it with is the Bible, man, all right? Nor the book of one I've made, you know, seek ye out the book of the Lord and read Isaiah 34:16, none shall want to make. And the only thing that can answer to this said time of all the war, you know, the sea up and different things like that, the only answers you can find is according to that Bible, man, which everybody says a white man book, you know, or it ain't true, they've been rewritten, and etc. All right? But you have real faithful messages that's refreshing the soul of his master, meaning what? They're publishing the word, bringing it forth, man. All right? Saying it just as the Lord said it said, man. You see? That's why the Lord aligned himself as a separatist, all right? Because he's holy, he's set apart. Because, again, he's the God of the earth, man. All right? He reigned, judgment is within his hand. He governed the world by the palm of his hand and so forth. All right? But I just want to harp on how bad news is good news, right? The earth is in fear and shambles, trying to figure out what's happening. My woman showed me like a little, you know, not a little TikTok thing, but like you look on somebody's page and you kind of checking the temperature just to see what's going on. You know, with the, you know, the current Iran thing happening, all right? You know, the bombing of the nuclear facilities and so forth. You're looking at people are giving Instagram head people and TikTok people are giving people knowledge on how to prepare for war, right? You know, work out a plan, get this, get batteries. This not that type of war, man, all right? It's the war of wars, the wars of woes. You see it coming. So there's no game plan for this, except it should be no sign except what? The sign of the prophet Jonah, or the sign of the prophets. There's no game plan for this, man. The only game plan you can actually have, and it's not a game plan, it's the only plan, all right? Which a plan equates to the will of the Lord. The only benefactor you can have concerning what's happening, all right, and stay within the realms of safety is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai gotta be dealing with you, man. You gotta have the blood on your doorpost. That's it. All right? Which is now modern day for what? Having the word aligned in your heart, man. All right? Having a Rakakwadash, man. Okay? And the angels assisting you, man, to understand what you need to say and do. You know, what the Lord requires you. Furthermore, all right, let me get this. This is Proverbs 5 and 12. No, 11. It says a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold and pitchers of silver. So the only thing you'll notice, the gold in a pitcher of silver would dominate the pitcher. So words fitly spoken, right? So the things being said on the news by the, you know, these devils Trump in general, you know, about how he gonna strike with precision and speed and so forth and so on, all right? It's putting people in a season of fear, right? That they don't, I don't know, but we know, we as the prophets, we know all so well, man, okay? So really it put a rejoicing in our heart that the kingdom is nigh, man. Because when certain prophecies come to pass, we know what? That our redemption drawing nigh. Our salvation is close, all right? And that's why we're carrying particular tidings, all right? And this, it really should be what the eye, your eye should be occupied on in prophecy, all right? And what this is what it should be on. You see, the good tidings, right? Because these are actually, the news in the earth is actually great news, man. All right, all news to the elect is pretty much great news because, you know, all the news will have to get sent out, man. This are the income, all right? So everything will have to get preached everywhere. But technically, the things that goes against the world is beneficial for the elect, man, all right? When the sinners in Zion are afraid, guess what? We rejoicing. Because we know it was what? It was written down, man. All right? It's refreshing the souls of his master. So if it refreshes the soul of the Heavenly Father, all right, he'll give us the spirit of, not give us the spirit of fear, but of peace and a sound mind, which constantly refresh us to basically what? Prophesy even more. All right? The two candlesticks of the Lord is emptying the oil out of themselves, as it says in Zechariah. All right? We leaving no stone unturned. We're telling you what it is, and now prophecy is starting to speak. You know? Prophecy is starting to speak. Okay? So it says, as an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so as a wise reprover upon the obedient ear. So, okay, so to hear what's happening, all right, and you be obedient unto it, you know, doing the things that the Lord said to prepare. When you shall hear these things, all right, know that the end is not yet, but it is nigh, all right, as the fig falleth off the tree. So we're being obedient, all right, into what we're hearing, all right. That word that Philly spoke in Ecclesiastes 3, there's a time of peace and there's a time of war, all right. And now we're hearing what? The horns of war, all right. The trumpet of the sound of war. But these troubles have to come to pass. These volumes and different things that were spoken of in Revelation has to happen. All right? So we're aware of it, okay? But it says the 6 troubles, yet 7 shall no evil touch thee. All right? So a lot of people out here is technically scared, all right? As they said, Jeremiah, you see? People is nervous, man. Get that. Well, good news is bad. Bad news is good news. This Jeremiah 8 and 15. It says, let's start at 14. Why do we sit still? Assemble yourselves and let us enter into the defense cities and let us be silent there. For Yahweh our power had put us to silence and given us water of God to drink because we have sinned against the Lord. And the sinners are afraid. That's the main people afraid, all right? You go to Isaiah 33 and 11, all right? It tells you the sinners in Zion are afraid, okay? It says, we look for peace, but no good came. And a time of help will behold trouble. So a lot of people is looking for peace, answers, Google search, researching war and missiles and, you know, a woman gave me another quote. Somebody said that they need to know what's going to happen in Iran first before they pay their rent, man. You know? Which, while all this is happening with the war, all right, it was something they did with the digital dollar, man. All right? I forget it. Salaki for that, but the brother put the beautiful article in there. All right? It was something about how they implement the total digital dollar, something like that. Forgive me. All right? Damn, I should have probably had it on deck, but I didn't, you know, kind of set it up. You know, this kind of through the spirit. all right, because I was watching a brother video, all right, from Mississippi, you know, and it compelled me in my spirit to go into this, all right. You know, they're looking for peace, but no good came in a time of hell, and behold, trouble. You see? But the same evil and trouble that's gonna come upon them, and though you're there looking for peace, all right, the evil that we're speaking about that's gonna arise over this kingdom, all right, the curse of the earth, which are the, you know, the angels, all right, that is speak about in Zechariah 5, all right, then that's, guess what, that's joy unto us. We speak about the evil because the peace gonna reside with the ones who's actually what? Speaking of those things that come, are prophesying, the true prophets, all right? You see, they're gonna be covered. Matter of fact, this Isaiah 61:1. The spirit of our power, Yahweh, is upon me, because Yahweh had anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. So what? That's the good news unto the meek, man. You see? So this good news to hear the war, the Michael, you know, the economy, you know, the household, the people in the house, all right, is you know, the windows are being darkened. All right, all this is great news, man. Okay? You know, darkness needs to get overshadowed, man, with light, man. All right, this place is as dead in darkness. So to want peace or look for peace here, all right, there's no bomb, nothing can help her. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the evil to take this place, man. All right, because again, the elect will be covered. It says, he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives. See, we're going to be liberal. We're actually free. Again, man, from our bondage, we're in prison. All right? We're in a dark, deep pit. All right? The valley of the shadow of death. And the opening of prison to them that are bound, man. You see? To proclaim the acceptable year of our power and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn, man. Okay? You see that? So we could be pretty much glorified, man. This place, get that in Job. This place is as darkness, right? And when these dark demonic forces, this left-hand side, all right, give our people hope. You know, it said they shall look for peace and safety, and there shall be none. So the prophet that's speaking of peace right now, you gotta watch him. All right. You know, that's actually a false prophet. You know, there shall be no peace to this place. They tell you in Luke, all right, Yahweh shall say, shall it be, you know, he gonna bring fire on earth, and then he gonna amplify the fire. He said he shall not bring peace, but a sword. All right? Let me see if I can get this. Thing is a joy. Places as that, man. Yeah, this Job 24:17. You can liken this, align this with, you know, the bad news. You know, the bad news is the good news, or vice versa. All right, it ties in. Job 24:17. For the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. Right, this talking about the wicked. Right.
In 2 miles, take exit 187 for US 61 south toward Gramercy.
So this place is the shadow of death. You see? It says, he is swift as the waters. Their portion is cursed in the earth. That's why the curse that goeth over the earth is in the house of him that steal it and kill it and cut it off. All right, which is in the house of the wicked, man. All right? And they are in the house, the curse that goeth forth over the earth, which are the angels and the chariots, to destroy this place and bring the salvation into the elect of Israel, all right? They going forth to the people of the Lord curse, which is the wicked, right? The wicked, Esau, Edom, along with the other nations, man, but chiefly Esau, Edom. It says, their portion is cursed in the earth. He beholdeth not the way of the vineyards, man, right? It says, drought and heat consume the snow waters. As I read, you know, will refresh the soul. So do it the grave to those that have sinned, man. All right, so that is given unto death. I started off, that's spiritual. I ain't had that precept down. All right, but it says, drought and heat consume the snow waters. All right? And we know what's refreshing to the souls of the master. One that preached the good tidings, the good news is the destruction of Babylon. That's great news.
In half a mile, take exit 187 for US 61 South toward Gramercy.
Matter of fact, get that. This Proverbs.
Take exit 187.
25 and 25.
Continue on US 61 South for 8 miles.
So it's good news from a far country, man. All right? Hey? So it's good news from a far country. So we got to continuously, you know, look up. Our redemption is drawing now. We can't bow the knee to bow all, man. All right? We can't allow the idolatry of Babylon to take us, man. You see? Kwam Yashala means rise Israel. Jake started bowing down, man, to this damn system, man. You know, the image of this place, this beast system, man. We got to get up out of here. Verse 26, a righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled foe, right? A foe that ain't going to produce that water, okay? And a man who served the Lord, his belly going to be as fountains and rivers of water, man. All right? It says, and a corrupt spring. So he going to be what? He not going to be pouring water over the dry grounds. He not going to be telling you we about to get up out of here. They're going to be speaking of peace, man. These prophets, these other camps, you know, other men that's aligning themselves to be with the Lord, but telling the people, behold, peace is coming, man. Ain't no peace. It's going to be a sword. All right? That's it. And this, I mean, if anybody with eyes can see, all right, the Lord is opening his magazine, his armor, all right, as it says in Jeremiah, all right, his magazine of weapons. You about to see, you know, hey, the Lord set this day aside for himself, concerning Proverbs 16 and 4, but he projected as the day of evil, man, all right, meaning what, an ill, bad time, nothing is good coming. You see? It's just what it is. Right? This is 1 Samuel 16 and 4. And Samuel did that which the Lord spake and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming and said, comest thou peaceably? You know, at the time, Samuel was coming to Jesse, all right, to crown David as king, or anoint David as king, all right? But he had told Samuel, you know, hey, get up, you know, get off your mourning and ashes for Saul, or whatever. We about to bring that new king in the earth, man, all right? Restoring those breaches, all right? You know, bringing a new spirit unto the Lord, a righteous, right, upright king. And that's what we're doing. We're heralding it, all right, and righteousness on the earth. See? Because right now, evil is has taken on foundation in the earth. So it have to be uprooted. And that's what he sent Jeremiah out to pluck up, to plant, all right? You know, to pluck up that which is, you know, not upright to the Lord, all right? And start to plant righteousness in the earth. All right, we shall be planted as trees, and that's why the Spirit of the Lord was on Isaiah to say that in 61. to plant the trees of righteousness, man. But you got to pluck up the weeds out the earth, man. All right? It say the field is the wicked, and the reapers are the angels. Coming to get the tares, all right, from out of the wheat. You know? Separated. But the whole point is, you know, the earth is looking for good news when there shall be none. All right? You see? Yeah. Isaiah 52. That point I wanted to make. All right, 61. And I think it's 3. Yeah. It says to point, you know, bringing that good news, to a point unto them that mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes. Yeah, we earth and ashes, man. We can't be proud. You know, I know it talk about Esau, Edom, but we low. All right? You know, ourselves, we got to get risen up. There was a reason we got brought low to mourn. All right? So the Lord can comfort us in Zion, because those are prophecy has to come to pass. All right? And there's a reason why we last. Okay? But the Lord is manifesting us to be what? First. Right? It says, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. You see? That double garment of righteousness and that diadem that Baruch speak about in Baruch 5, man. Go read it. Right? It says that they might be called the trees of righteousness. See? That foundation of righteousness there. And that's the Jeremiah 31, Hebrews 8. All right? The low in our inward parts. Okay? And then we're going to be what? Roots and trees of righteousness, man. And the planting of Yahweh, that they may be glorified. And that's why the kingdom of heaven is where we're going to get our glory. But right now, we got to preach the what? The end of this kingdom. Okay? The word shall be preached to all nations, then the end come. So we sending all the news through, right? All right? And we love to bring what Jeremiah preached of in 28:8 of war, pestilence, and the what? Of plagues. That don't sound like good to me, right? It's of evil. We're coming in the same stand as Jeremiah, man. All right? It's got long, but it is what it is, all right? Ask Samuel, do we come in peace? You know, the men of the Lord, you know, they bringing peace to the elect, right? You know, warning them, giving them warning from the Heavenly Father, and they're taking heed through repentance. And what? Getting out here and prophesying, pushing the word to what? They're joining the body to basically preach the same good taste. So look, our Lord coming back, man. We got something to hope in. You see? Right? The wicked hope for salvation, but there shall be none. Matter of fact, ain't no hope to the wicked, man. They hopeless, right? Jeremiah 5. Oh Lord, get the Isaiah 52 and get out of here, man. All right? Hope salvation from the hills. My bad, that's 3:25. All right, Salaki. This Jeremiah 3 and 23. All right. Well, I'm gonna read 22. Return ye backslide children, and I will heal your backslide. Yet come back. Behold, we come unto thee, for thou art Yahweh thy power. All right. Truly in vain is salvation hopeful from the hills. Yeah, these hills, and you got mountains as well. All right. Because for the godly, there's no hope. Wisdom of Solomon 5:14. There's no hope to the ungodly. All right. So these hills, all right, in vain is their salvation, and from the multitude of mountains. You see, these people can't project or prophesy salvation into you Israelites, man. They pushing that on y'all, right? Understand. Look at what you're looking at, and understand what you need to do. You know, look at what's going on in the earth, man. Right? The Lord is weighing actions in the earth, man. Pay attention. It says, truly in Yahweh our power, the salvation of Israel. So that salvation is to the Israelites. And then it's to 1/3 of his people, man, who will return. You see? You get this and get out of here. All right? Isaiah 52. people shall know my name, therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that doeth speak. See, behold, it is I. Do not he say he is, and it's he that speaks. So what is the prophecy? The words is being fulfilled, which is his son is the
In
word.
a quarter mile, turn right onto North Airline Avenue.
So it all aligns with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man, along with those that is enjoined unto him, right? His elect. You see? And he said, my people shall know. Because it says in Psalms, in the day of the Lord, thy people shall be willing. But, you know, everybody gonna know, man.
At the light, turn right onto North Airline Avenue.
See? It says, how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings. All right? Which is good news.
Continue on North Airline Avenue for 2 miles.
That publishing peace, that bringing good tidings of good, that publishing salvation, that said to Zion, thy power reigneth. And that's what the elect is bringing to the elect, man. But everything else is evil. All right? Straight up. Okay? There ain't no salvation for the wicked. Negative. You see that? It says, thy watchman shall lift up thy voice. With the voice together shall they sing. Yeah, that new song. All right, and you're witnessing the melody of it in sync. All right, which is symbolic for me saying you looking at the men of the Lord. The Lord is putting his men in order before the nation eyes, man. Yeah, those who they had somewhat in what? Derision. You know, you're looking at the assembling of the saints, man, of the Lord. It says, for they shall see eye to eye when Yahweh shall bring against Zion. There you go. All right? Bringing back his men. The ancient prophets of old is what? It's being reestablished. Your eyes shall know, shall see thy teachers. Shall not be removed in a corner anymore. Break forth into joy, sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem. For Yahweh that had comforted his people, he had redeemed Jerusalem. And we're in the process of being redeemed. All right? No man gonna buy us. Yahweh shall about to come back. He gonna leap off his throne as a fierce man to war. All right? And war is in the earth heavy. All right? But Yahweh shall gonna intervene with the angels of hosts, the hosts of heaven, man, and do his thing. All right? That's why we rooting for the water start, man. And you tell Jake that, Jacob say you out your goddamn mind, man. You know your family this and this gonna get, man, well, hey, let the chips fall where they may. And I say that humbly, man. All right, because we do want brothers, people to make it. I got family, children, and etc. But hey, that's in the hands of the Lord. He give me the spirit to preach. The good tidings is the good news. And again, bad news is good news. You see? Look, we came up. Netanyahu added again, man. Boasting, prideful, perfect, right? Because when the news of the wicked comes on, people take heed, they give it ear. But when the poor man speaking, everybody say, who is this fellow? See? His news not as relevant as the news of the earth, the lies and deception, the delusion. You see? Because they could be pulling out psyops, false agenda, false flags. And guess what? Our people gonna take it and run with it. They're gonna have a TikTok party. I'm surprised people not having a missile party. Dressing up as targets. Another man, a torpedo or a missile hitting the target, and do a TikTok and get 1 million views, man, or it go viral. You see? But verse 10, Yahweh had made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all the nations. You see? And the arm of the Lord is very strong. Right? And the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our power. Okay? Right? So that's pretty much the point. So I think, Lord willing, this video was edifying, and I think you get the message, Jake. Bad news is good news. All right? It says the righteous expectation is good, but the wicked is only wrath. So I don't mind what this item was edifying. Next time I say shalom.